Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Andy Poop here with a pretty good, interesting games. I'm gonna be uploading. It's another series of tournaments. It's gonna be the Questing Cup number 4, and we had a lot of people this tournament. It was really interesting. Here the games were pretty unique. So this is round 1, game 1, and this is gonna be versus Mukip. He is a pretty good player on the ladder. I haven't faced him. I faced him once in tournament, so I really didn't know what I was getting into. I guess when I joined this match, but I did ban Bretonia the first game, so he banned also Bretonia, so we could not pick them in the series. So it was a best of 3. So the rules is basically 6 of the same unit, only 6 of the one unit. So basically you can only take 6 Orc Boy Begins, 6 Black Orcs, or stuff like that. Squigs are limited to 4 units. Heroes are limited to 3, not including your lord. So you can have 1 lord and 3 heroes. You can only have 2 of the same hero. So you can have 2 big goblin big bosses. You can't have 3. And casters, you can only have 1 caster with spells. So you can take another caster without spells, but only 1 caster can have spells. So see what he has: Itchy Nuisance and Sticky Stabbins. So he can't have another one like the same. He can have 1 caster. So I'll go with armor really fast. I didn't really know what he was going to bring, but Greenskin is so powerful right now, especially versus Empire. So he has 4 Biggins, 3 Black Orcs, 2 Squigs, 2 Boar Boy Biggins, his Orc War Boss, and his Shaman out in the distance. I actually thought he didn't bring Shaman for a little bit because I didn't see him till like almost the middle of the game. And then he has 2 nasty Skulkers here. Pretty nice build overall, pretty powerful. I don't like the fact that he didn't take big bosses, because you need Goblin big bosses to deal with Amber Wizard and the Manticore, because they do a lot of damage to the Flying Lords. And I took my pretty standard build. 4 Greatswords, 6 Spearmen, 3 Archers, and 2 units of the Renowns, 1 Flagellants, and then the other of the Sigmar Sons. They're pretty good, just to like hold the line. My idea here was to come downhill and let my Flock of Doom do some damage before the minigame starts, because when I saw his build, I'm not going to be able to win his engagement one-on-one. So I'm going to have to whittle it down as much as I can with Flock of Doom and with my archers. So that was my idea here. And it's kind of the idea in this matchup. You have to whittle down Black Orcs units before you get to the combat. So whether it be Outriders, Archers, Flock of Dooms, anything you can do, killing their Shaman, something like that. Because Shaman basically guarantees that, or basically gives Black Orcs a super hard front line, because he can just buff all of his units and just debuff your units, so it gets very difficult to just win them straight up. Like I've tested like 6 Great Swords builds versus like only 3 Black Orcs, and still Black Orcs will win with the Shaman buffs. So they're just too powerful. And I just did a little bit of cycle charging here, since he didn't have his Flying Lord spread out or his Cav out. Well, the only things that can stop flying is Squids, and his Cav. I guess Skulkers can slow them, but they can't stop them from getting back to the air. But you'll see how I made a super costly mistake, and it should have lost me the game, but luckily he did not. He played his Cav really wrong. But you'll see, it was so bad formation. So when I was coming down this hill, I thought my greatswords were on this side, but when my position stopped, you'll see right now. I actually didn't even see these Skulkers either. So I stopped right here because I thought because I was ready, right, to fight. Although this is actually not that good. It's downhill. What I should have done was stop right here. I thought these were my great swords, but they weren't. So my formation was backwards. So I had spearmen fighting the front line, which was not going to work at all. And they were supposed to cover the flanks against the squigs and all these. So I did a mistake and turned my unit around. When I did that, they all just blobbed up. It was so bad. So in a, I guess in a, and he actually did really nice with the sniping. I have no idea how he did that. They did so much damage though. So crazy. I think it was probably overcast. And so he plus got my units blobbed, and he nearly one-shotted my Amber Wizard. So I tried to stop his units from getting onto mine with my lords. If he had big bosses here, it would have been better because he would have forced my lord to take a lot of damage. But I did cover my flank in time, so he wouldn't be able to get into my archers, which is pretty good. And disengagement is not too bad for me because spearmen do okay versus squigs. What he needed to do was get the squigs in the front so they can hit my great swords. Because squigs, that's what they wanted. That's what they're basically best at. So here he tried to go in alone with his cav, which is kind of a mistake. I just killed this cav really fast here with my lords and manticore. So after this, I was kind of super scared, but he misplayed with his cav. He was trying to get in the back line, which he shouldn't have done. All he should have done was just stayed in the back and let his units just win, because they're gonna win no matter what. He should have just waited in the back and let the squigs hit in the front also. But he threw away his cav basically. And then now his cav is fighting spear, and then I'm just gonna come. And I guess at this point I kind of just went all in and tried to kill his lord now. Because it was kind of, his cav was distracted over here and one cav died, so there was nothing else to help him to protect his lord. So I was able to get some good charges off. But I was definitely losing at this point. Probably not the board didn't say it though. Yeah, I think my front line, look at my front line, it's already dying. So I was just trying to get some cycle charges in as much as I can. RNG. And it worked out. His lord did rout, but it did come back after a while. What he should have done was probably did another buff or debuff on my units. His cav is doing something. I think it was routing. Yeah, but he threw away his cav too fast. But yeah, I was focusing them down with their archers. That's what you need to do as Empire. You have to focus down their squigs and their cav. Once they're done, then you have enough to kite around and get your lords in and out. Yeah, my front line started just breaking. But good thing I still had my unbreakable units. But yeah, when I just had to get these squigs out. He needed more, I think, fast units to get to my archers, but he should have just waited. See his front line? It's just, he still has half unit of Blackworks versus my left unit, my units that are still left. His lord's routing, but the bar's still a little bit on his side. And he mainly has Black Orcs, so Black Orcs versus archers and spear, kind of some unbreakable lords. And this passive is so annoying. Now they start routing. Yeah, my lord's just, I mean, my manticore is just gonna try to finish off his lord. His lord does come back and does some decent damage, though. But yeah, what he should have done was try to break off one of his units so they can come and try to chase down my archers. But look at my units, I have like almost no infantry left. The only bad thing is his morale is not good because he doesn't have any lords around or heroes. And he doesn't have much to bog down my lord. So he can't really stop him from doing anything. And right now I was thinking, all of his units I can probably run away from, so I just need to kill his cav and his try to make them rout, all of his fast units to rout, because without his fast units he can't really touch my archers, so I can just kite them all day, except for Big Ins. They're a little bit faster, pretty sure. Actually, no, they aren't. They're slower, so it would be okay for me to just kite and then just fire him. And when I'm kiting, you'll see I'll just hit him with my lord, and then they'll stop to try to attack, and then I'll start shooting with my archers again. So just keep doing that. But it's super tough, this matchup. Like, it favors Greenskin a lot, but Empire has to do something like pretty tricky just to win the matchup. Yeah, I got a pretty nice hit there. My units are routing though. It's pretty annoying. But now that he's blobbed, it's okay now. I think I had it here won because he had nothing to stop my lord and he was full health bid, so I can just charge. One thing though is Black Orcs don't run from terror, so they kind of don't care. They do take a lot of damage because they can't really do anything to lords, and with Cav also, they don't really do much to Cav. See how it goes. Yeah, now I'm just trying to cycle with my lord now. And once I just route them, I'll just chase them with one unit and just keep on routing each individual unit because he's separating them, which is not good. He should have kept them together and just chased one unit and then chased the other unit, because that was probably his only win condition. But yeah, after I kill his shaman, then it goes on my favor now. I think his build is pretty good. He just needed big bosses, because if he had big bosses here instead of 2 squigs, it would have been much better because he could have handled my lords much easier. And I don't think the squigs, they didn't do much because they were only killing spearmen. That's not that good. Which they should have been was in the front line killing the greatswords. Like, the Black Orcs did like great because I had nothing to deal with them. He had too much. My archers had to shoot for too much. They had to kill these, and then they had to still whittle down the Black Orcs, so they couldn't do that altogether. So and then plus the formation when it all clumped up. That match should have definitely been over or been lost, but luckily I got some RNG charges and was able to rout his lord. But the lack of his heroes was probably his downfall. Maybe take off 1 biggin or 2 biggins, and then bring the 2 big bosses, and then bring the Night Goblin Shaman. I think he's probably better right now, simply because he's cheaper and he does the same thing as the Orc boss, but you have to micro him a lot more. Let's see. Yeah, he's a little bit squishier, but he's just as good at dealing damage. But yeah, you just have to micro him a lot more, or else he'll just get killed pretty fast. But I think he's much better, just cost efficient, and he's a lot cheaper. So yeah, he's like 500 gold. Yeah, so not bad. But if you're a little bit more newer, I would probably still recommend Orc Boss. He's a little safer. But yeah, well, thanks for watching, and I'll upload the next video or next game too in a little while. Alright, see you later.